The amount of times I heard, go for a birdie, just drove me nuts. Welcome to New Game Plus. This is a retro gaming podcast where three guys spend 7 days playing one old game and then we talk about it. My name's Dustin.
My name is Kenny.
Nolan.
And this is episode 429. And the question of the week is, which video game has the best title?
That's easy.
Oh,
It's not easy. You're gonna give me an answer, and it's gonna be on my list of actual games that people think have good titles but
Nolan.
are bad.
No, it is the coolest
okay.
name
Nolan,
possible.
is your answer at least in the family of what your answer often is?
No,
Wow.
Okay,
I don't think
then
so.
I'm interested to hear it
I don't think so.
because I have an answer, and then I have a list of honorable mentions, and I also have these
Why?
aren't good, even though people
Wait,
like them.
You
I
usually come with
over-answered this
nothing.
week.
Why do
Andy's
you
come
come with
with
everything?
everything.
I'm making up for all the weeks that I can't make a decision by making too many decisions.
Red Dead Redemption
It's good.
is the sickest name possible. It's awesome. It's literary. It sounds like cool, and you are cool in it. It's the best name.
Yeah. I don't know if it
Not arguing with that one.
I don't know if it is descriptive enough for the game that you are playing. But
See, I was trying to think of that too, but I feel like they named it that for some reason. Maybe the first one more so than the second one for sure.
Aren't Redemption's not the first game in the series?
No.
though,
no, Red Dead Revolver.
Because isn't there yeah,
Which is
and
cool.
that one makes more sense
Sure.
as a like Western title, and then like taking that Red Dead like concept and making it the
Honestly,
hook for the franchise.
Redemption.
It works.
Thinking about it though, Revolver's pretty sweet too. Red Dead
Yeah.
Revolver.
Oh,
all
Like,
that's
pretty
sick.
cool.
They're both great.
But
yeah.
that's-
Kenny, should I go before you so that you don't take all
yes,
of them?
no, yeah, go
Okay.
first. I'll be mad if you give my same.
I'm going to give one,
actual
I'm
best
sure,
answer.
because like there's a definitive list of best titles, and
There's not. It's one of the most objective things we've ever discussed.
one of the look, I chose one that I thought Nolan would like me for, but
Okay.
also because I think it's probably the best one in that. I think the beginning of it takes away, so I'll just say The Legend of Zelda, but then I'll give you the cool portion of that.
Okay.
I think the best one out of all of those, and they're all really cool, Nolan, Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
That
I thought you were gonna say Link to the Past.
that one is really good, and you would like it even more if you've played it and beat it.
I'm not gonna say Link to the Past because that's just a pun. Is that a pun? Or not a pun, but
mean,
is that a?
Kind
Yeah.
of. It's clever.
It's a
and
clever
is a
title.
good thing. You can't not like it
No,
because
it's
it
cheesy.
has extra meaning.
It's cheesy. Twilight Princess sounds so cool, and it has always sounded so cool to me.
And it has really
Okay.
cool meaning. Yes.
But that's not my answer.
Okay.
What-
That was a runner-up.
Kenny, do not give me flack. You have a list of 30.
I know, but I'm
He's
gonna whittle it
antsy.
down for you.
Okay.
All
then,
right, what's
I'll-
your
I'll-
real answer?
then my real answer,
Yeah.
I've got two here, and I think I'm going to go with. I'm going to.
Gives me flack. It has more than one also.
I'm going to go with Hollow Knight. I think it's simple. I think it's
Okay.
evocative, and I think it gets the people going.
It's so
the
funny
people
because
going.
the game that I put the name the reason I said it was good is because I said simple, evocative.
What is it?
But you weren't
In
talking
my
about
notes.
Hollow.
He's gonna say Pac-Man.
I was not. No.
Missed.
I think one of the best named games, Halo Combat Evolved.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
Combat
gonna
Evolved
disagree.
makes it so bad though.
Yeah, combat. Don't say that.
No,
part.
it doesn't. You need it because it was new. People, it's great.
Get a buzzer. A real one.
The Halo is like
Halo's-
no one calls it Combat Evolved. Halo is beautiful. The way it ties in with the story and
Oh,
the
yeah.
visual works. It's short. It rolls off the tongue. And I think for the first title, giving a little glimpse of like we're gonna do something new and different in this genre, but not in a way that feels gross or heavy-handed, was wise. I think it's a really, really well-named game. Some honorable mentions.
1 out of 30. What's number 2?
All of the Castlevania games. Every single
Oh,
one.
yeah, Symphony of the Night.
Symphony of the Night's cool.
Absolutely.
I don't,
Like,
Aria of
just
Sorrow.
say
I
any
guess
of
that's
them.
cool too.
That one's
Cool.
sick too.
Yeah, like they are
They're
great.
very emo and moody.
Yeah, but
Well,
that's
sure,
it.
but that's,
the game,
That's the
yeah,
vibe, and they all work. Assassin's Creed
Just that title is
totally
pretty
works.
sweet, yeah.
Half-Life.
I like Half-Life.
I know this
think that's
one
a
you
cool
guys might scoff because the game itself, but Call of Duty is a great name for the kind of game
We
that
don't
it
give
is.
that
It is.
any credit, buddy.
I know. No, it should get credit for this. And another game I don't like, but that was well named, Grand Theft Auto.
Oh well, yeah, that's cool.
Yep. It abbreviates well, evokes what the game is about, like everything about it. Last one I'm going to call out as an honorable mention, Mortal Kombat.
I love that
With
one
the
too.
K?
I've always
With the
yeah,
K.
and then they put
Yep.
K's where they shouldn't
So
go all the
iconic.
time. I love
You
it.
And then they scream it so that everyone like recognizes it. It's part of it. Here are my couple just because I
Oh
told you
my
that I was going to say
God.
them. No, that people say are good but aren't. Final Fantasy, not
Hey,
a good
don't ever.
title. I know. Mega Man, no, cheesy,
Yeah, it's
so
pretty
bad. And also, and I'm talking about the first one and about this specific part of the name, not the rest of it, which I will agree with you guys are mostly good titles. The Legend of Zelda. So that's where I come full circle to disagreeing, but sort of also agreeing with you, Dustin. You kind of said the same thing.
Can you come
The
this
subtitles are all
prepared?
great. Ocarina of Time,
every
Link to
week?
the
Kenny,
Past.
this is
And shut
Kenny's
up.
favorite. Yeah, like what?
Cut
If
his
y'all give me a
mic.
chance to write an essay, I'm gonna just
Can you do that
Do
every
it.
week? Okay.
All right, terrific. You might have missed it, but that was
Whoa.
my best segue by par. Like in our retro game of the week, Hot Shots Golf Open Tee.
Overview.
Hot Shots Golf Open Tee is what this game was called in North America. However, you might know this game as Everybody's Golf Portable or Everybody's Golf, two subpar names compared to Hot Shots Golf Open Tee.
Everybody's golf.
It's probably one of the
that
worst
even make
names.
sense?
It's a very terrible video
Does that
game
even
name.
make sense?
Everybody's Golf? Like,
It's apostrophe
wait,
S,
everybody, wait.
which is better than
Golf
not.
belongs to
but
everybody, or everybody is golf? What's going on here?
everybody is golf.
Is that
It's way funnier if that's how you mean it.
Everybody
I'm
is
sure
golf
they mean
portable.
it possessively, but it's
but
way
still,
funnier. as a-
golf
I'm not
belongs
golf
to
portable.
everybody?
Y'all, you are.
Yeah,
golf.
I mean,
That is the best name.
everybody is golf.
Everybody's golf.
Okay, so the game was released in 2004 in Japan for the PSP. Let's talk about it.
Now, pause. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about
Yeah,
that.
because it's our first PSP game on the podcast somehow.
Huge, but and y'all didn't have one for sure.
I'd never had one.
So
No.
the PSP is kind of a divisive console. Back in the I have one. I had one when it came out, and a lot of people kind of dogged on the game catalog and all that. But the system itself, let me tell y'all, was actually so cool. It was my MP3 player. I had like videos on it, like YouTube, like. It was so, and it was a really
Kind of like
high,
a media device for
Oh,
you.
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
in that era when like that was a thing.
Is-
You know,
and for
you
that it
needed
was
them.
amazing, and I liked the games I
Yeah.
had on it.
It was also one of the earlier, not the earliest, but one of the earlier like major hacking devices. So
Absolutely,
Yeah.
for emulation.
yeah, it had a whole community
Yeah.
of people that would create software and whatever to be able to use this device to its maximum effect.
Yeah.
I actually, since it's our first PSP game on the podcast, gathered a few details about the handheld device. Would you like to hear them?
Yes.
Good.
Sure.
Good, because I'm going to share them. It cost $250 at launch.
Yep.
It used an optical disc cartridge called a UMD.
UMD.
The screen resolution was 480 by 272. But
And let me say about the screen.
yeah,
That's one of the things that was mind blowing. It was very high quality because what you were comparing it to was the DS, which did not have high quality screens.
Yeah.
At all.
well, and this had a 16:9 aspect ratio, so it was
Yes.
what most games,
Widescreen games,
all
yeah.
games are today. It sold more than 80 million units and over 331 million games.
People really like their games being portable.
Yeah, I guess
Or they
so. I didn't know it
did.
sold that many. That's great.
They still
Yeah,
do.
they still
It's
do.
just now it's in
The
phones.
Vita came after and demolished it. Like, people loved the PS Vita. I never owned one. It was kind of like a bigger PSP. I think the PSP is king. I love that console and the games that I did have on it. But there were probably a lot of stinkers.
You want to hear the top games that were sold?
I can guess
Yes.
them.
I don't think you can.
Kingdom
No,
Hearts
there's no way
Birth
he
by
can.
Sleep.
Is not even in the top 10.
Final Fantasy Crisis Core is number 3.
Is number
probably.
8.
Okay, I can't do this.
The top 2 from Kenny's favorite series, Grand Theft Auto, Liberty City Stories, and Grand Theft Auto
Yep.
Vice City Stories.
Yep. Great.
You've got number 3 is Monster Hunter, Portable, third.
Oh, yeah. That was a
Okay.
hugely successful Monster Hunter game. Yeah.
You also have Monster Hunter Freedom Unite at number 5.
Yeah, dude, those games blew up on the PSP.
And then number 4 was Gran Turismo.
Okay, that's surprising to me that some of the others that I had weren't on there, but like that makes sense
Yeah.
because I think for a lot of people in the West, that was their entry to Monster Hunter games.
Honestly,
was on the PSP.
what it seems like this device, and it's not a bad way to use a portable device, a handheld device, but it seems like some of the best games, or best selling games at least, on the handheld console were like short stories or extensions of popular home console games. Grand Theft
Yep.
Auto did it.
Side stories,
Monster
yeah.
Hunter did it. Final Fantasy did it. That you mentioned
Kingdom
Kingdom
Hearts
Hearts.
did it.
Like those were some of the best selling games because it's like, hey, it's not your full experience, but if you want another
Yeah.
good experience in the world that you know and love, pick up this game.
Birth by Sleep's
it's-
my favorite Kingdom Hearts game.
Wow.
I think 2 is my favorite, but that game is absolutely amazing. There's
Okay.
like 3 full playthroughs that you do with 3 different characters. So much in that little game. I'm really glad we're doing this, but why everybody's golf?
Because it was a launch title.
Oh yeah, you said that last week. What?
Everybody's Golf Portable was a launch title for the PSP, and it was developed by Clap Hans
Clap hands is what I read.
and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. It is a sports game. It's a golf. Like if you haven't caught on yet, there's no tricks here. It's a golf game. So, think of Tiger Woods or any other normal golf game, and this will probably fall somewhere in that category. You are golfing.
Let's go golfing.
Gameplay.
Should we explain how golf works to people as just like a starting point
Not for this game.
for the whole conversation?
No, they don't need to know.
Because if you don't understand golf, you're not going to understand Hot Shots Golf Open Tee.
Yes, you will. Kenny, you don't understand golf.
Excuse me.
Do
You
you
play?
Better than Dustin.
in the Venn diagram?
Probably.
All right, Venn diagrams are 2 circles.
Okay.
One is retro
Or more.
retro video gamers, and the other is golf. How large do you think the intersection is?
Bigger than you think, probably.
I'd agree, but not large.
I'll tell you about golf if you want me to.
Like,
No, I think we can
Briefly?
take it for
I've
granted
played
that
the
there's
most
a
golf out of the
normal
3 of us.
yes.
That's probably true.
Yeah. I suck at it. My dad's really good. My brother's really good.
Mark?
I suck at it. Yeah. My brother used to work at a golf course at a country club and was really good and probably should have tried that as a career in college, but he didn't. So that's where I learned to play. And what you do is
Oh man, can't wait.
You hit a ball into the hole.
No, first of all, you have
It's
to set a
just
tee
like
time.
basketball.
You have to set a tee time.
Tea time. Let's start early.
And you have to be
You do.
there an hour and a half early at least. Yeah, it's just how it is.
before tea time.
Yes, because you go and have like a coffee or something, or you get a little
It's a
breakfast
whole
sandwich.
experience.
Of course, this
What,
is
you
men's
say
like
coffee?
shopping. Like
You
this,
say coffee, you're not going to say tea?
I don't drink tea.
He's
no one drank tea.
He's
there. They'd
making
kick
his
you out.
second
It's
tea
such
joke.
it's a funnier thing to say in the context.
They would kick you out if you said, "Can I have a tea, please?" They'd be like, "This is America."
They would not. Arnold Palmer.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Listen,
Please
you don't
be
need to
quick.
know how to play golf.
Oh!
You don't need to know how to play golf.
As long as you're there by
We
tea
came
time.
full circle to this. Doesn't matter.
play 18
after you poorly explained it.
Most of the time, you play 9 holes
Which is
because
half.
18's ridiculous.
Okay.
Like, I mean, we have jobs. I did. when
Yeah,
I was a
nobody's
kid.
got time for a whole.
Yeah,
course.
but people that are rich and are retired play 18 holes every single day. But most people do like solid 9 holes when they can.
Now that we've explained golf,
Tea time.
so well, people now understand how it works.
in this game, basically, the golf setup is your standard 3-click swing mechanic, which you've seen in other golf games.
Almost all of them.
Almost all of them. You press X to start the swing or start the meter, and you press X again on the power when you want the meter to end, and then the meter comes back the other direction, and you want to click it for accuracy right on the little spot that it gives you. And if
Or you're going to chip it.
yeah, if you do that, then you hit the ball down the green. Is the whole thing called the green? No.
No.
You hit the ball
very
fairway.
specific part of
down the
course.
fairway, hopefully
Yes.
towards the green, and because you don't want the rough. You don't want the rough, boys.
You don't want the rough stuff. You don't want the pits, the traps. No, Dustin, that mechanic you just said,
Yeah.
that's why last week you said, hey, some sports games are good, fishing games sometimes randomly good. They use the same mechanic.
They do.
And it's a great mechanic.
It's
I
the
think
right
it's
mechanic.
so good.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
right mechanic for something like this.
Yeah, that bar.
I don't think it's just fishing games though. I think there's something about just like weird, cozy real life activities. For me, and I don't play a lot of them. I don't play a lot of golf and fishing games, but hunting games also fall into that exact same genre.
You
Just
know,
like casual, sort of appealing and fun, but I don't know why, because I don't do it in real life, and it's a completely different thing anyways.
Nolan's currently
I don't know.
thinking about
Maybe I'm
Red
a-
Dead Redemption 2, so...
no,
Maybe I'm
not.
a redneck or a bro or something. I don't know.
No, I know like the big buck games, Kenny, like on PC.
Absolutely,
I
all of
remember
those.
I didn't like those. I found them
Oh, I do
so
like them.
boring.
See, I think it's in the same circle of vibe for me of
It is
like game types.
sportsman's games, and it is funny because people in real life would probably like all 3 of those things. The same kind of guy,
And-
you know what I'm saying?
And then trucking simulators.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a funny coincidence, but I do think that the simple mechanics of swinging using that the start, the power, and then the accuracy meter just feels good when you hit it right.
It works well when all you have is a button. I think there's arguments for saying
Oh.
golf games on the Wii are especially fun, or that arcade game where you get the ball and you get to roll
Golden
it,
Tee?
and like
Yeah.
Golden Tee, and you get to physically like do the thing is inherently more rewarding because of just like what you can do for golf. But given that limitation that you're playing like on a normal console, it's I think as good as it can be.
It is funny, Kenny, that you bring up the Wii because this game, like we're saying golf, there's realism golf, Tiger Woods games, right?
Right.
And then there's Nintendo Wii golf. This is more
Yeah,
in that
this is
camp.
kind of that.
This is maybe
Absolutely.
even past that a notch. This is not realism golf. You're still golfing, and that mechanic's still there, but you're not. It's not like the role playing of like I'm a professional golfer.
Right. That is true. The vibes aren't realistic. However, the gameplay is still, from my limited experience, fairly similar because you go out on the course, you're able to select between your different clubs, you're able to see an overhead view of how far your shot is going to be. The meter, as we've already discussed, is practically the same. Even when you're on the green at the end, the grid comes up and shows you kind of the slant of the course. All of that is what I've seen in other more realistic games. So a lot of the mechanics are similar, but the vibes are different.
I think there's a dividing line, and I think it's pretty. I mean, they're always blurry when you have a spectrum, but in my mind, it's almost like a kart racer versus like a Gran Turismo.
Wow.
Like there are games that go for like hyper realistic and they want it to look real and they're going to put you on real tracks. And you've got, I haven't played it so I can't like fully know, but you've got games that I think try to be that. Your Tiger Woods, golf games where it's real people. I would assume real courses.
Yep.
Harder mechanics that are more in depth on the actual like golfy kinds of stuff. And then you have this, and yes, it's not as far off as maybe Wii Golf, but like this is a very casual end of the spectrum.
Very, because just for instance, I'll give you a taste of
Is
some of
this
what
the
goes
slide?
on. You hit the ball down the fairway, and then it's usually like in a cut, like maybe they do a little celebration, and then usually it'll cut to you like, okay, I'm at the ball, let's hit it again. Or you get to see them drive to it. He full on power slides with like electricity coming off his feet.
It's so good.
Like really fast.
It's so funny.
It's
He
so
like
funny every
runs
time.
full speed and then like
Then you'll have moments of I'm going to like chip this onto the green, and you do that, and when it hits the ground, homing ball, and it spins up like
you've been
Sonic,
able to
and then
do
like
that, yeah.
and then like goes into the
Or you have little text bubbles that pop up and are like kerplunk or just different things like that, So, but a lot of that is vibes. I'm still leaning that direction.
You know what? That works for me more so than the realism golf games.
Oh yeah. Well, because we're gamers, not golfers. Whew.
Yeah, and I think I think most people would prefer that too. Most gamers, because
that's who the audience is for. Like that's who they make these for.
It's like
just
Mario
a
Golf.
casual game play
right, which I think
experience.
Mario Golf is like a peak gaming experience.
Peach.
It's so good. Nice. But for me, this works better because it's a little more to the point. Like you're a lot less likely to, if you get bored by golf in real life or the concept of it, you're less likely to get to that point playing this game because they keep the pacing extremely fast, which is great.
Right. I think that's part of why there's that power slide. You're not having to, even between your hits, they're keeping the time relatively short. They're trying to make it pretty easy to set up your shot and make those decisions. And so, again, it's a relatively fast-paced, fairly casual golf experience.
You do have multiple modes of play. They operate fairly similar, but you have stroke play, you have challenge, you have training, and you have a putting challenge. So we can talk about each of those. Stroke play being the first one. That's just playing any golf course, right? And you can
basic
you can
play.
choose any of the courses at least that you have unlocked. You can choose if you're going to do 9 holes or the full
9
18.
holes.
And it was saying 9 in or 9 out. I thought it's 9. Oh no, I think I've lost it. Not front and back. 9. I thought there was a different language to discuss which 9 holes you were playing.
I'm sure if you used front and back, people would know exactly what you're talking
The
about.
back 9. The
Did
back
you say
9.
the back
I think
9?
I thought it was front
Right.
and back.
I think the official
Yeah.
term is in and out.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what was in the game. But you choose any of those and you just play. It's just a basic stroke play.
Stroke play.
We'll come back to challenge because I think that's the one where I spent the majority of my time and what I think the game is basically built around. Oh.
I played a lot, mostly stroke play. I thought challenge would have been something
same.
not main game.
Oh. Well, okay, then we'll
Go there
We
now.
can talk about both.
okay, I'll go there now. Challenge in my mind is the story mode of the game. It's not a story, but it's like it's the go-to one because you choose a series of events to compete in, and so some of them are
you're going into like tournaments.
Well, some of them are tournaments, some of them are one-on-one, some of them is match play, and as you're doing that, you're unlocking new clubs, you're unlocking new gear for your character, like a chain or sunglasses.
I'm tripping. They named that poorly, in my opinion. But yeah, I did.
That's
play
where you
that
played.
mostly. Yeah.
Because you're choosing those different ones, and they slightly vary. Again, you're just playing a course. If you're doing, I don't remember if it's match or one-on-one. The terminology trips me up, but like some of them, you might only play 3 holes because if you win each one, of those holes, so you don't have to go on. It's like first to 3. Another one is a full 9 holes or whatever. But you're unlocking gear. You're playing progressively harder challenges, and and you're getting experience or affection, whatever that your heart is meter is increasing.
Reputation.
Yeah, reputation. Thank you. And your stats are increasing too as you go through. So that was where I spent the bulk of my time.
Yeah, same. That one's more like Mario Golf.
Okay.
Right, and it's definitely the bulk of the sort of gameplay experience. If you're just sitting down for a quick casual game, Strict Play is great for that. If you're working on playing the game and going a little deeper, then it's challenge mode.
Yeah.
Which is aptly named. Better than last week's challenge mode.
What was
Not much. In training, you're practicing shots. So you can set up a shot, you can do it multiple times, you can,
Right. They I was going to say they copped out because there's not really like a tutorial here. They do sort of teach you, but it's not like in depth. They kind of just plop you in, but the game is so straightforward you don't even really need a tutorial, honestly. It's very sort of understandable just based on what's going on. But the primary mechanic that's different in training is you get unlimited mulligans. Like if you want to take a shot over, you just take the shot over. Or you can also do some other things like change the direction of the wind, change like where your lay is so that you can practice some specific sorts of skills in training. But
that's on par
primarily
with like fighting game training modes.
Yeah.
Pretty specific.
I will say that, like, one of the things that I don't think the game explains to you, Nolan's already mentioned, and would have been nice for a tutorial in the training mode, would be the special shots, if nothing else. You've got a few special shots that is performed by pressing different directions, direction combinations while you're setting your shot power and accuracy. So it's like you hold left while you're setting the power, and then you hold right while setting the accuracy. Then you have to hit the perfect accuracy, and if you do, it does a special shot. One of them, the most ludicrous one, I think Nolan already mentioned, is, you can do one, I don't know if this is the exact one, but you can do one where it drops down straight solid down, which is super nice and sticks, but you can also do one, Nolan mentioned, where it drops, and when it stops, it powers up like Sonic and then shoots towards the hole.
It like homes after it.
But so I don't think that's taught anywhere. How did you like?
Not that I'm aware of.
I saw someone do it and then looked it up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, let me do that."
Yeah.
But I think it's okay that they don't specifically say, "Hey, there's special shots in the game," because they almost feel like bonusy. I mean, it just gets even more ludicrous. And so I think that the normal experience of the game, if you just want to play it like as they give you, I think you're getting a full experience and maybe a potentially better one. Just doing normal golf stuff.
Yeah, it almost feels like you're applying cheat codes at that point, which is a fine way to play a game if you want to.
Always judging.
But again, I don't think something they should like include in a tutorial. I think people will have the most accurate golf fun, just like playing it without all that.
That would have been a booklet thing, or maybe there is somewhere in the game that they mentioned. I just don't know.
I didn't see it in game, but it could be there.
Stroke play, challenge, training, and then putting challenge. And that one I kind of really enjoyed.
I really like putting challenge. Because of
the putting in this game is fun. It's all fun, but like the putting especially is very rewarding. Trying to get the right read, and you're trying to get your distance just right, and it's even a little more challenging because you're not just hitting the end and then aiming. You pretty much, not always, but you pretty much just want to max your shot when you're driving.
Right.
I know there's exceptions.
But not when you're putting. It's a lot more fine-tuned.
Right, but when you're putting, it's a lot more sort of strategy and like trying to figure out how far this is versus that marker and the percentage, and it's fun.
But I think I recognized it in my first play. The fun thing for me about the putting challenge is that although you only have one hit, you have different holes. And so you have that give you different points. And so you're trying to maximize your points. And so like if I miss one, then I'm going to go for the 2-pointer on the next one or the 3-pointer. And so like it places you at a specific spot. Everyone starts at the same spot, and you either have a hole fairly close to you, which is just 1 point or whatever, but then you have a hole that might be a little bit further away, maybe even another one a little bit further away, and they give a different amount of points.
And can I say, Dustin, I was very impressed by your putting skills. Hey. The way you analyzed the ground and everything. No, it's pretty challenging to get good at that portion of the game because it does require you to you really have to practice and feel out the meter at that point because, like Kenny said, you are maxing it out normally in most of these kinds of games. But
and how much slant sort of affects speed and how much more power you have to. All of that stuff takes a little just getting used to, and so it's very nuanced and very skill based. Like you can be good at this game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there are numbers to the game as well. Like they put values to things, and I thought it was accurate, well thought out. It's not like Wii Golf is luck a lot of the times. Like I don't think there's maybe behind the scenes math going on, but this game exposes that to you, and you can actually get good at it, which is why I also enjoyed the putt mode a lot too. So yeah, honestly, for a handheld game on the PSP, decent amount of modes. Very happy with the amount of content that they break down here. I think all the modes make sense.
How did you guys feel about their course design? Because your courses are a big part of the golf experience. These aren't real life courses. These are all courses made specifically for the game. And some of them are realistic, and then some of them are a little bit ridiculous. But there was a good variety of them. Like, how did you guys feel about that piece?
I think a lot of them felt straightforward, samey. The more enjoyable ones for like the challenge play or even the stroke play would have been ones where like they surround the green with sand traps or there's like some sort of obstacle to keep in mind. But a lot of them end up being not a straight shot because they'll snake or whatever to the green, but you're still just power shotting it and maybe adjusting it for a curve a little bit, but I think they could have done a little more in terms of the hazards and like making you hit differently.
Yeah, honestly, that
was
the part where I was let down most. The course design. My opinion is if we're going to go with fun, silly vibes, go with fun, silly vibes. I think they tried to do that with like character design and some of the silly nature of it, but then tried to make it too realistic actually of course design. I would have liked, hey, let's go through a hole in a mountain or
like full on putt style,
or
like,
across a bridge, putt
yes.
but like in a 18 hole kind
scale.
of like experience.
Yes.
I think that would have been more
so
fun to
funny
me.
that you say that.
Agree with Nolan. I felt like it was different courses, but really like
but kind of
relatively
but
straightforward.
basically the same.
And, maybe a golf person would see a bigger difference there.
Yeah,
like,
sure,
for instance,
maybe.
in a realistic golf game, I would be like, these are all literally the same.
But because we live on Earth.
Yeah, but like people who do this all the time would notice these things. But here, there's a lot to be desired.
You'll mention it is a game where you can get good at, you can get better at, the feel, if the wind's going this way, it's going to affect it by this much and all of that. And I did get better, but I also wanted to get a hole-in-one this week. And so
I didn't. Yeah.
I finally got to a course eventually where it could happen, and spent the next 109 attempts working on a hole-in-one.
God. Why that course specifically?
I'm so proud of you.
Not all of them can you get a hole-in-one. This one
it was in range.
It would have to be like a par 2 or 3, but like a really close hole.
It was a close hole. There wasn't much wind that was affecting the shot, so I just felt like, hey, this would be my go. And it was later in the week. I'd gotten a couple of birdies. I think I may have even gotten one on the first play. I don't remember, but like I'd gotten a couple of birdies. But I wanted to see what the celebration was for the hole-in-one. It took me 109 tries, but I finally did it I tried it with those special shots, without the special shots, with a little bit of English. I don't know, is that what it's called when you put that on the ball?
English.
Are you supposed to do it? I don't think. But finally got it. 109 shots in, got a hole-in-one. Wasn't worth it. But
what did it do? Because I haven't seen one, but sometimes when you hit and it's like you got it really perfect, the camera will be cheeky and like zoom in on the ball.
Oh yeah, as it flies through the air.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. What happened when you got the hole-in-one? Did it do something freaky?
It didn't do something freaky.
He wants fireworks.
it started playing Genuine's Pony, and he got on the ground and started like beating it. No, I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I
if
think
that's
he.
actually
I mean, I think he did a backflip, and it said hole in one, and it did a little celebration. But like,
Not worth
It's
it.
nothing.
There was probably some
Yeah,
confetti.
nothing
but
different
nothing,
than a
like,
birdie
exciting.
or even an eagle or something along those lines. It's not worth it. Don't work on a hole
don't
in
do
one.
that. Do not do that.
Aged.
As mentioned, this is not your realistic Tiger Woods golfing experience, particularly when it comes to the visuals. Nolan mentioned Wii. Could any of us be fooled that this was a Wii game? Like, this could have been a Wii game, right? Like,
Absolutely.
I
I could
mean,
have been fooled.
visually.
Visually, it is in that style 100%. I'm not arguing with that at all. I don't think if you showed it to me, I'd be like, that's a Wii game, but it 100% has that vibe.
Yeah.
And it's not my favorite vibe, just sort of personally, visually. I get why it works for casual games and for like simplicity in these sports kinds of things, but it's fun and light and casual, but it's also just sort of, I don't know, cheeky but a little bit dumb, and it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite vibe.
It's not my favorite, but I think I might prefer it to realism. Like, I don't know.
I think realism on the PSP would have looked really fun.
Yeah, you're right. If you're doing this on the PSP handheld, you've got to do this, I think.
For the handheld, it makes sense, the choices they made. I still don't
And
love
it's silly, and I was laughing from time to time. Guys, my favorite graphic of all, dude, in between or after a match, you get a screensaver of beach and waves and nice little relaxing
Great.
music that says good job, I think, down in the bottom. It's so silly. I don't know what that's about, but it's fun.
I got a lot of Mario Golf vibes, which is a GBA game, also handheld, developed by Camelot, which is the Golden Sun people. So they have similar graphics to this too. And for some reason, it works really well for me. I love this. I like the proportions not being right, where like your character's like as big as like, I don't know, some of the landscape. I think it works really well here because they're not going for the spot-on serious golf. They're going for, let's make this really fun for your gamer, for your non-golfer, and I think it's really good.
It does lend itself well to the fact that what you're working for in so many cases are cosmetics. Because you've got, different characters and the whole thing, and then you can give them different looks.
You can give them different golf clubs that aren't golf clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For this style of like what the
And I
game
think
is.
it future proofs better than realism during this era, especially on a handheld.
Sure.
You give us cute, colorful anime aesthetics. I think it's gonna future proof well.
Yeah. Dustin, you creating your character or choosing your character in the first play, and then it was the exact same guy you were
That I was
playing against,
facing?
sent me.
That
That is
It was
the
really
funniest.
funny.
I did actually hate that, like the slowness with which you unlock new characters. I don't think have a character creation, so you can't create from scratch your own character, which is kind of a bummer. And at the beginning, you only have one of two options. You have boy or girl, basically.
Yeah.
And you have other characters. You can even see on the cover art of at least the Japanese cover art, there's a whole host of them there, like maybe 8-10 characters.
Yeah, it's everybody's golf.
But
Yeah.
but you
Everybody's
don't get
there.
everybody until so late in the gaming experience.
Yeah. And I was missing some of that too. I think one of the aging factors here isn't so much that, I can't create my golfer. It's more so like the availability of what you're unlocking or like working towards. Like this is more of just not a sim. It's just it's like a single session kind of game, like you said.
Sure.
Yeah.
At least as they do, a lot of these golfers do play. Again, we have like the stats. Like they give you a variety of different sort of play styles, which is nice. So that if you really want to like focus on one part of your game or the other, you can find the guy that just really pounds it, or whatever else
In the hole.
Yeah, and so that makes sense. And there is a little bit of fine tuning you can do there once you have collected your character to sort of even say which like variation of that character you're going to play. But all of that to say there's still only a dozen or so characters, and the customization only goes so far.
The sound effects were
Soundtrack.
annoying to me.
All of them?
Not all of them, but
Really?
dude, I don't need a cow mooing or a dog barking or
What is the dude saying in the background?
yeah,
All
the
the
time. I have no
Every
idea what he's
goal-
I don't
saying.
know. I'm sure it's something like golf related that I just don't understand. I'm
Japanese?
assuming,
Or maybe
but I
they
could
didn't
be wrong.
translate it. Yeah, like
Maybe.
it just sounds like another
Whatever.
cow mooing.
I don't know what he's
See,
saying.
He's singing.
Yeah, no, I
That
I
got
felt-
to me, dude.
I felt completely different. One or two sound effects I understand being annoyed by, the voice, that guy, but overall I felt like the sound effects were like kind of the coziest part of this game. It gave so much like tactile feedback on hitting the ball exactly right, having that satisfying
that's good,
thunk,
sure.
and the little sound effect, the little kerplunk when it plops in the hole. You need some of those moments where like it feels like you're there, and a lot of these sound effects do that really well and add a lot of just sort of like, yes, I'm like in the moment. So they were maybe heavy-handed with some of the environmental sound effects, but I really liked how they implemented them. Again, it's a cartoony game, and they're over-the-top sound effects, but I think they nailed it
Well,
for the tone they were going for.
the other thing with the sounds is like it's very Japanese in the sense of like there's a celebration, over the top celebration, like every 5 seconds of like the camera panning on you, and it's like you're going Super Saiyan literally, and it's like nice shot, and you're like, "Vroom." That was fun to me, and so the environmental sounds, I'm with Dustin, were so annoying, but everything else works, and the music that is in the game I thought was
it's
solid and
fine.
appropriate.
You're not
Yeah.
playing a golf game for the soundtrack.
It
What-
matches the tone of the game. It's kind of cheesy
Depends.
and fun. It's good, but it is the visual style of this game in music form.
If you're playing a Mario Golf game, whether that's Mario Golf GBA or the golfing games that are on, like, you're playing those for the soundtrack,
Sure.
those are really good, but not this
Yeah.
one.
The amount of times I heard go for a birdie just drove me nuts. I mean I'm sticking with it. The sound effects drove me crazy this week, but at least sometimes it would be silent.
You also played one hole over 100
Hey,
times.
that's fair.
So it might grate on you a little
definition
bit
of
more
insanity.
than us.
Did you know that Everybody's Golf is Everybody's Golf because this is the 5th game in the series, meaning they've been giving golf to everybody for a long time.
Are you kidding? On what
They've
systems?
been recognizing that everybody is golf for a long time. Get
PS2?
it right.
Everybody's Golf has been out for a long time. So Everybody's Golf, the first one was PlayStation. PlayStation.
Wow.
So Everybody's Golf 1 and 2 were PlayStation. 3 and 4 were PlayStation 2. And then Portable was on PSP, followed by Everybody's Tennis. They can't switch
Ooh.
sports.
I love a tennis
For the
game.
PS2. Then we went to the PS3. I mean,
Same.
they kept going. PS3 had
Wow.
Everybody's Golf 5. The PSP then had Everybody's Golf Portable 2. Guys, we're going to play a sequel at some point.
Wow, I would not have guessed that this was a full-on
Yeah.
series that probably has a following.
Most recent was on PS4. It was Everybody's Golf, the 12th game in the Everybody's Golf video game series.
12. Is it still developed by
Wow.
Clap Hands?
Still clap hands.
With no D and a Z?
Clap hands, baby.
I'm very surprised by that, but not mad.
It was nominated for PlayStation Game of the
Same.
Year at the Golden Joystick Awards the year it came out, 2017.
Golden joystick.
Yeah. Hey, this game though, dirt cheap, maybe the cheapest game that we have played.
A PSP
Yeah.
game too.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
But again, think if it's a console release, like a release title, probably tons, right?
I'll tell you why it's cheap, because those UMD discs are probably beat up. You're probably gonna get in, it's not gonna run.
Even new is so cheap. So
Oh, okay.
$5 used or loose.
Wow.
And dude,
Okay.
listen to this. $8 new.
A
Okay.
new copy of this is cheaper than a McDonald's meal.
Like I don't know if we've played a game that has been this cheap new. $8.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's probably a little telling of what people think of it.
Final thoughts.
At the end of each and every one of our episodes, we determine whether or not the game gets our vote for New Game Plus status, which is our general thumbs up or thumbs down. It does require 2/3 of the vote to swing one way or the other. I'll begin by admitting, as I already have, that golf is not my forte.
Stop with this.
I've never played actual golf,
I would love to see that.
but I've gotten this far in life that I have decided that I will not.
That's
like
fine,
just on
yeah.
principle at this point. It's not gonna happen. And so, like I'll go do mini golf.
Yeah.
Or I'll play video games of golf, but just like golf, I'm not gonna go do that. And I'm happy for all of you that will. So I'm already like I'm a step back, and then what I would imagine be my complaint for real golf stands for most golf games I've played, in that it is redundant and tedious, that you're doing the same thing over and over and over again with very little variation. My favorite golf game that I've ever played is Golf Story for the Switch. That was a lot of fun, but it's a totally different kind of experience. Golf is there,
RPG.
but it's an RPG, right? Like there's something else that's happening. And I need that for me to enjoy a golf game. I don't think this game does anything inherently wrong. I think it's a golf game. And it could be everybody's golf game because it's just simplistically a golf game while giving you some cartoony fun at the same time. I don't think it does anything inherently wrong. I just thought it was quite boring, which might be golf. And so everybody's golf from me is not New Game Plus certified. Not bad, just not great.
I'll go.
I'll jump in.
Okay, both of you at the same
you
time.
Go.
Okay,
We'll
Kenny,
just go
ready?
simultaneously. 3, 2,
I
1.
think. Okay.
That.
No.
You can go, Kenny.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Oh,
go ahead.
gosh.
Okay. This game is exactly what it wanted to be and set out to be. It's light, breezy fun. It isn't actually all that great, but if you pick it up every once in a while, it'll keep you entertained. That's it. This is. It's actually funny that you guys said that, because this is how I want to describe this game in my notes for the summary. It's mini golf. Like in real life, if you're saying this is the kind of game it is, it's not going out and playing a real game of golf. It's mini golf. It's casual and fun and rewarding, but not super hard or serious. I don't love the look. But if it's not a complete turnoff for somebody, everything else that this game has to offer, I think, will be rewarding. So yeah, like in its context, for a fun and simple golf game, it's hard to complain. I'm not blown away, but I think people will have fun if they decide to play. Maybe don't play a hole 100 times and ruin the experience for yourself, and it's your own fault. I had fun, but I didn't overdo it. NGP for me.
Well, I have a feeling I know where this is going. Nolan, it's your final word.
Okay. Golf games for me really need to have kind of RPG elements. I've never played Golf Story. I know I would like it. But that's precisely why I love Mario Golf on the GBA. By the way, petition to get people for us to play that game. I think it's on the GBA. I think Dustin would love that game, and I would enjoy talking about it. So just throwing that out there. So for this game, really big missing component here is that sense of progression, or you're unlocking things, but you're unlocking MTXs and whatever. That's fine and goofy and fits with the vibe of the game. But I just love to like upgrade and maybe invest points into different stats or something like that. And while the game had stats, it just kind of took a back seat.
Yeah.
And the front seat is goofy, single session, like really loud and really Japanese golfing. And I'm with Kenny. I think it works exactly for that reason. And I'm a little surprised that I had a lot of fun with this game this week, because I need that in those golf games. But for this one, I was also fine with it existing. It's better than like a Wii Golf, in my opinion, because it has, I think, deeper mechanics, but not deep. That's not the right word. But there's strategy to it, and there's learning and getting good. I actually give this game New Game Plus 2. I didn't think I would, but everybody's golf. Everybody is golf. Say it with me.
Everybody
Everybody's
except
golf.
except Dustin's
Except
golf.
me and possibly some other people in our community. So for us, though, I guess, everybody's golf portable, everybody's golf, and Hot Shots Golf Open Tee is New Game Plus certified. But what did you think?
On YouTube, 33% of you said yes. Hot Shots Golf Open Tee for me.
That's high for a PSP golf game, in my opinion. But
yeah, like that's 1 in 3 humans. That's billions of people that have played this game.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, if everyone on Earth responds to our polls, 2% though said no, go play something else, which leaves 65% of the entire human population apparently prefer to play golf in person.
That also makes sense because the PSP library is weird, and I'm sure a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't surprise me that there's not a ton of exposure to this game.
Many people wrote in about Hot Shots Golf, and I'm going to read off a couple commentaries here. Steinake said, I played a round of Hot Shots Golf Open Tee to see how it compared to Out of Bounds PS3, which I played for hours. And as to be expected, it's the same game but portable. I enjoyed the quirkiness of its definitively made in Japan art style. The lack of music during gameplay can sort of be off-putting, but the calming sound of the breeze and gentle nature sounds carries its own merit. I do not like real... What?
Oh, just there shouldn't be music while stuff is going on.
No, yeah,
you
have
gotta be dead silent while you're hitting,
you have to be quiet.
or else it's rude.
He says, NGP for me, but just get Open T2 as it has everything from 1 and more. And I think we heard about that. The series...
Okay, so go play it, but actually go play a different game? I don't know if that's how NGP works.
Clint said, the game let me golf with a frying pan. Easiest NGP in months.
I love that. Succinct and to the point.
You also get the... I mean, they let you golf with all kinds of things in this game. Staged Link says, I'm trying to think of a fair way to express my feelings on this one. No matter how you slice it, it just never fully hooked me. Having played Mario Golf with a creative character and career mode aspect, this just felt a little below par. The upgrade system put it on the fringe of being something special, but the repetition made the whole experience feel rough. I agree. I see what you're doing, by the way. If they had just been able to wedge a few more mechanics into this game could have soared like an eagle. Instead, it just feels like an underdeveloped birdie. Okay, you're done. I hope my opinion doesn't upset fans enough to make me run for my bunker, but no NGP for me. All right, Stage Link, you're officially banned.
That commentary was a hole-in pun.
Oh, God. Wow. Even worse. Somehow even worse. I wonder why it didn't quite work for some people. Like, I keep hearing Mario Golf from people or other games, Out of Bounds for the PS3. I wonder if they're just, loving those games.
It's hard not to do the comparison thing. And I know sometimes we do, and we talk about its merits that way, but I try when I'm doing NGP to really just judge, like, the game itself, like, is it worth it? But I get that perspective because there are choices to be made, and even people that want just like casual golf may want like another flavor of casual golf. So I don't know.
I even made the comparison to Mario Golf. I just landed, on the other side of the green.
Right.
Garlisle says, while real golf is not great, come on now, I've always enjoyed it in games. Same. Mini golf, realistic, or lightly fantastical like this. I like it all. The calculated nature of the sport adapts really well to a game. Still, I've never actually played a Hot Shots Golf before this one. And while my gold standard for fantasy golf remains my beloved Pangea, never heard of that, this has been a fine substitute. Solid, albeit limited in quality, courses, all right customization, solid controls, and just enough willingness to ignore realism to produce interesting locales and shots. I'm kind of curious to know which game fans consider the best now. I am too, because Dustin said it was like a whole series.
Sort of the same, but not realistic. Fast and casual, and nobody takes it too seriously, but most people are going to still enjoy it. This game is just golf. This game is just Taco Bell. As golf.
I'm not going to allow this.
That's the metaphor that works here.
Yokiro Hot Shots?
Yokiro Hole in One.
But for now, we're putting aside Hot Shots Golf, Everybody's Golf, and the other name for this game that I don't remember. And we're going to be learning what game we're going to be playing for the next 7 days.
Yeah, it is time to randomly select. So, from the enormous Retro Master List, we are choosing our game of the week now. This week's randomly selected game of the week is a game developed
the title?
by. Yeah, I just say it.
No build up.
It's developed by Cave and Barn Studios.
Cave and Barn?
Yeah, which I'm sure you've heard
Great.
of. Along
Fantastic.
with Pipe Dream Interactive. Published by Majesco Entertainment.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be nothing.
And it's a game on Dustin's new favorite console. We are playing a GBA title.
Oh yeah, I'm back on board.
This week. Came out in 2002 here in the States, and a little bit later the next year in Europe.
What is this?
Sort of action-y. This is a kind of hard one for me to even just from looking about it kind of describe. It's like an action-y sort of like arena fighter, I think. But we'll have to find out more.
Okay.
And the game of the week is BattleBots Beyond the Battle Box.
Oh, is this based on the TV show?
This looks like it is based on the TV show.
Wasn't that a show on?
Oh yeah, it absolutely
Spike
is a show.
Or something.
Reissued in 2003 as BattleBots Design and Destroy, but we are going to be playing the original GBA title, BattleBots Beyond the Battle Box. So find yourself a copy, or build one from scratch from parts in your garage if you're really, really into it. And join us this week for BattleBots Beyond the Battle Box.
You can also join us in Discord. That's where you can leave commentary that might get read on the show, and also just hang out with some cool people. Discord.gg/NewGamePlus will get you there.
We want to say thank you to those of you who support us on Patreon.com, including our director level supporters, who are the people we would throw into a BattleBots arena to fight on our behalf if we needed to. Bro Jim, Super Hyper, and Siegfried. That sounded like a threat. I meant it as a compliment. I don't want you to fight to the death for us, but we appreciate that you're ride or die. Our producer level supporters, the littler bots, include Alex, Alias X, Amarlian, Antonin, Arlen, Yuki, Ben, Craig, Dustin's 5 o'clock Shadow, Garlisle, Hallex, Harold, Hey Brother, Jay, Robert, Jake, Jordan, Joey, Justified, Justin, Clint, Levi, Maxima, Megatroid, Miss Muso, Not Enough Dog, Sajin, Shane, Shauna, Snake Maddox, Stephen Fox, Psychomantis, Thomas, Turtle, Unbedavable, and Zion. Y'all are a mouthful this week. Thanks for your support.
You can find us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. Links are in the show notes. You can listen directly on any podcast provider of your choice. Subscribe so that you are the first to get new NGP episodes, and while you're at it, leave a kind rating and review. Our episode artwork was created by Dave. Our video episode was edited by our friend Dylan. Our audio episode was edited and produced by our friend Dan Willett. Join us next week as we play
BattleBots.
BattleBots.
Beyond the Battle Box.
Good Lord. Until then, I'm Nolan.
I'm Kenny.
Dustin went to the bathroom and never came back.
Sorry.
And this has been a
golf-tastic episode of New Game Plus.